Welcome to this explainer. If you've been eyeing the real estate landscape lately, you know it's rough out there. Everything feels incredibly competitive and heavily priced. But today, we're diving into the staggering reality of the Canadian tax sale market. We're going to look at hard data and verified real-world auction results that uncover a completely hidden realm of opportunities, a place where the standard rules of pricing literally just do not seem to apply.
Okay, picture this. You're looking at a property listing for 24 Star Court in Sydney, Nova Scotia. The official assessed value of this property sits at nearly $500,000, $458,900 to be exact. Now, in a normal market, you'd expect to pay right around that, or probably even above asking, right? Well, through a tax sale on March 10, 2026, this exact lot sold for just $195,000.
Let that sink in. That single transaction resulted in an absolutely staggering savings of $263,900. That is a 58% discount right off the top. Seriously, in what other market can you slice property prices in half like that? And no, this isn't some glitch or a typo. The platform data we're looking at today proves that properties in this specific database routinely sell for anywhere from 30 to 60% below their actual market value.
Section 1. The Massive Market Gap. Real deals from March 10, 2026.
Because here's the thing, this massive market gap is not just an isolated lucky break, it's actually a structural feature of these tax sales. Just look at these actual, verified results. We're talking about a property on Eskasoni Road in Island View, assessed at over $158,000, going for just under $8,500. Yes, you heard that right, $8,500. That is 96% below market value. Just down the list, a spot on Highway 4 in East Bay with a near $120,000 valuation, secured for less than $5,000. We even see a property on Tulip Street in Glass Bay assessed at almost $180,000, selling for a mere $14,000, and another on Grove Street going for a solid 78% discount. These numbers are wild. They literally allow everyday buyers to acquire significant assets for what essentially amounts to pocket change in the real estate world.
Section 2. Where are the listings? Mapping 769 published opportunities.
So, the million-dollar question, where exactly do we look? If these deals are happening, where's all this inventory? Well, right now the platform shows 769 currently published listings scattered across the country, with another 475 already archived. And the data brilliantly illustrates the geographical hotbeds for this market. It is definitely not evenly distributed. Nova Scotia clearly leads the pack by a mile with a massive 151 active listings. They're closely followed by New Brunswick with 134, and Quebec holding strong at 91. And while places like Alberta and Ontario do have a presence, 62 and 37 listings respectively, the East Coast is unequivocally the absolute center of gravity here.
Zooming in from the provincial level down to the actual streets, we can pinpoint the high-volume municipal pockets that hold really concentrated inventory. Glace Bay, Nova Scotia alone boasts 35 separate listings. Sydney Mines has 24. Then we see St. John, New Brunswick with 14, Pointe-à-la-Croix in Quebec with 13, and Brantford, Ontario offering 11. If you're a focused learner trying to build a highly efficient strategy, this is exactly where you draw your map. This tells you point-blank which municipalities are generating the most activity. Section 3. Analyzing property types, not just empty dirt. Now, there is a very common misconception out there that tax sales are only for unusable, unwanted, empty patches of dirt out in the middle of nowhere. But the data completely busts that myth. While vacant land does make up a slight majority at 196 listings, there are an impressive 173 actual residential properties available right alongside them. We're talking about homes. The platform also lists commercial properties, farmland, and get this, even a cottage or chalet. This means whether you're a developer hunting for raw land or an investor looking for existing residential structures, the diversity of the inventory is absolutely there.
Section 4. How tax sales happen. Navigating the mechanics.
Okay, so to participate in these massive discounts, you absolutely have to understand how the mechanics operate. You can't just blindly point at a map and buy a house for 96% off. You need to know the structured process behind the curtain. It starts simply by browsing verified municipal data to get the parcel context. Then, you choose your sale format. Are you jumping into a live public auction, or are you submitting a sealed public tender?
But step 3 here is the absolute most critical, requesting official property records. Before you bid a single dollar, you have to use these tools to uncover any potential liens or complicated ownership details. Doing your due diligence is exactly what separates a smart investment from a really costly mistake.
And honestly, the barrier to entry for this whole process is surprisingly low. Right now, there are 405 public auctions compared to 70 public tenders. The opening bids are incredibly accessible with a whole entire category dedicated to starting bids of under $1,000. How crazy is that? And it scales right up to the 5,000 plus range for larger parcels. Plus, the platform is globally accessible, fully translated into 11 different languages including English, French, Spanish, Arabic, and Japanese. It's totally designed to bring a huge array of buyers to the table.
Section 5. Unlocking the data, the power of platform tools.
Finally, finding success in this arena requires a lot more than just knowing an address. It requires leveraging the right platform tools to view the specific parcel context and its actual history. The platform empowers you to do exactly that. It offers an interactive map view for that broad national overview we talked about, but then lets you really drill down into a granular parcel view to see exact property boundaries. And most importantly, it provides verified sold price proof with real auction dates, just like the ones we analyzed from March 2026. This means you never, ever have to guess at a property's true historical value. The data is right there for members to access, right alongside full maps and official documents.
Given everything we've just unpacked in this explainer, from that heavy concentration of inventory in places like Nova Scotia to those staggering 90+% discounts on residential and vacant properties alike, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Knowing that average savings reliably sit at 30 to 60%, how might exploring this hidden data completely change your perspective on entering or expanding in the real estate market? Thanks so much for diving into the data with me today.